Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to continue with the tarot readings for the Sagittarius season. So today it's the turn of TXT Soobin. So yes, this reading is going to be dedicated to him. So let's start. The cards that he got are the Knight of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Six of Cups, Nine of Swords, Three of Pentacles, and then from the Oracle of the Chakras, I'm sorry guys, it's just I'm having a bit of a throat problem. The card that he got is Creation. So I think that definitely these cards talk about like his desire to make progress, being very committed to the process of, he's definitely working on something. He is like perfectioning some things, and it's a slow process, but definitely next year with the Wands, probably the project is almost ready. But this is very interesting. I think that the Knight of Pentacles energy definitely does represent Soobin. And it's considering his energy, that he is a Sagittarius sun with the moon in Pisces. Like I'm amazed to see how the Pentacles seem to represent him better, in the sense that probably it's not only about being more mature. I think that probably it's about being a bit slower, like slowing down, especially the expectations. I think that sometimes he gets anxious because of the results, but he had learned to go with the flow. Somehow he had learned to be more practical, and probably this has to do with his role in the group, you know, of being the leader. But it's amazing to see how he is becoming like very calm, like very steady, very stable. But he's still very ambitious, and I think that this is what he wants to show, actually, to show, and he wants to represent ambition. And I think that this is why maybe there are moments where he's oppressing his own feelings so he can look like he is under control. I think that here with the Six of Cups in the middle, definitely there's a need, or there's a desire to go back, like a lot of nostalgic feelings about something. Probably things are not, I mean, things are never what they used to be. We are all constantly changing, but somehow he is missing a lot of things. He is a bit nostalgic. The energies here are very like, he's very wise, he's very self-aware of his limitations, and I think that this has to do with the team and with what the group represents for him. The progress that they're going to make, it's going to be slow, and it's going to have a few interruptions. Like there's a sense of like, oh, I'm worried, like I cannot sleep, I'm worried. But the teamwork still persists. It's like, I think that the final resource that he has is that he trusts his team. He trusts his team members. And I think that this definitely is about building that sort of trust, because things are not going to be easy for them. And I think that this is what maybe Soobin energy is showing me here. that not everything is like you see it. I think that he's realizing that things are no longer the way they used to be. Probably they had a plan, or someone like set a sort of like a plan for them, like, oh, this is going to be like this, you're going to go through this experience, and you're going to go through this, and then this, and then another stage, and this and this and this. Like, it was very much figured out for them. But now it seems like the opportunities are lacking, or are not that prominent. So he finds himself like looking back and being like, oh, like evidently things are changing, and I'm worried. Like, I'm worried because, like, there's something, like, I think it has to do with creation. Somehow, he got the archetype of creation. So I think that for him, maybe he does have the need to create something, to be a creator, to connect with his creativity. And probably this is why he's trying to slow down his anxious self, and being like, okay, I need to show more confidence in myself. I need to calm down. I need to show that I got this, that I'm reliable, that I'm trustworthy, that I'm hardworking. I need to embody all these stable attributes, this is why I said a lot of pentacles, a lot of earth signs, not so much like with words, but more with action. Like, he wants to show probably the higher ups that he is much more than just a pretty face, and I think that he definitely wants to go there. He wants to create something. Probably it's for the group, or it's with the help of the other members, because I don't see him doing it by himself. Probably it can be his, but for the group's well-being. But sometimes he does worry. He worries. He has a sort of like, he feels very responsible for the rest. For the rest of the members. He thinks a lot about them, and he doesn't show it. I think that here with the Nine of Swords is something that is in his mind, but he he doesn't talk about it. I think that he will make the progress that he wants with the group, but it's going to be okay, because I don't, here, seeing this from his perspective, I think that the group is going to do well. Like, it's not about the group's longevity nor anything, but I think that he worries. I don't know why he worries. I think that probably him, in his position as a leader, he had like heard a few things, or he was given sort of feedback about the group, and I don't know, he feels a huge weight on his shoulder to do his best for the group, to not let the other members down. And he probably he has insomnia, or he has like a lot of sleepless nights thinking about the group. And probably if some of the members have some issue, or if someone is having a hard time, or if someone is not, is they distracted or not very focused. It's like he's like, oh, I have to fix this. I have to fix this. Like, I have to take care of this. Like, I have to make sure that the group stays as a group, that we build a great teamwork. And I believe that they do have this great dynamic among each other. And he does see this like a sort of like, okay, we are the best in this. Like, we have built a group dynamic. We are much more stable. We are one. So we have to use this for our advantage. This Six of Cups in the middle definitely like is the only cup card that he got, and I think that probably it also has to do with fame, and probably when you just start or when you just debut, you think that things are going to go a certain way. You somehow idealize things, and you are like, oh yes, things are going to go like this, and then this and this, and somehow he's like, oh, you know, things are not like I thought they would go. They are not the same. And he worries about that. I think that probably it has to do with you know, them starting as the first group after BTS for Hype or for Big Hit in that moment, and then now there's these new people, you know, there's new groups coming in, it gets crowded, you know. There's a lot of more artists, people coming and going, you know, and he does get nostalgic about that, like he worries about, like, okay, what's our role here since these new people keep coming in, you know, what's our role here? Like are we going to get the same opportunities, or we will have to wait? Like, you know, there's this sense of like, okay, maybe in the past when we were just us, it was easier to get opportunities, or it was easier to talk about certain things, and now all of a sudden it seems like he's left alone to take care of the group somehow, you know, like as if he had to. That's why when I mentioned this Knight of Pentacles, of him having to integrate and also incorporate this very stable, patient, very structured almost kind of person, you know, that very put together, very like professional, you know. He wants to look professional, he wants to look like as if he really knows what he's doing. So probably having to become this sort of like a strong pillar and this sign of stability is like is causing his emotional self, because I know that he's emotional. This is why I get all these cards and I'm like ranting about. It's not that I'm saying nonsense, but I feel like it's hard for me to put it into words, because between the duties that he has as a leader and how he really feels inside, there's these two different sides. So I'm trying to channel everything, but sometimes I struggle with this. I feel like he is very opposite, like he probably changes a lot, but I don't know, does someone know if he actually is like, if TXT, I wouldn't say like they are being left alone and that no one takes care of TXT, but I feel like they were given a sort of quote-unquote freedom when it comes to the management and stuff. And probably Soobin is the one that he has to, I don't know, like review a few things about the group. Like he has to step up and take the role and take the initiative of like somehow being this very stable and responsible figure. And he came out as the knight, so definitely he's doing the work, he's putting the body, he's putting the actions, he is like behaving like this very stable force for the group. But he's still a knight, so he's still in the process of learning as he goes, you know, he's learning. Of course that this is going to be a very like fruitful, very a very good experience for him as an individual to be able to be like, okay, I have to be the leader here, like I am the leader. But you know, like I always mention, there are leaders and leaders. You do have the leaders that do take care of everything for the group, because unfortunately the companies don't pay much attention to them, so the leaders have to stand up and do everything. And there are other groups that actually the leader is like a sort of label that they put on a member, but actually they have the backup, the support of the CEOs and others that arrange things for them, you know. And in this case, I think that for Soobin there's this huge sense of responsibility. Like, since no one is watching, like no one is paying attention, I have to do it. I don't know how, but I have to do it. And I feel anxious, and sometimes I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying. And definitely what he wants is that he doesn't want the group's dynamic to fall apart. He keeps insisting on that. Like, he keeps talking to the guys about how important it is for them to have a very similar mentality and view about, you know, how much they care for the group. Like, come on, let's work together. Let's do this, because let's not be selfish. Let's be together, literally, let's be together. Like, you know, like the word together that definitely is stronger now. But definitely it seems like he's maturing a lot. You know, this is why he got the card, the archetype of creation. Because I definitely believe that he's going to become like not only wiser, but also this that he's doing, this role that he's playing, is going to help him connect with a more creative side of himself. Like, okay, like everything is not here, is not like everyone thinks that we get things for free, you know, in the sense that they are not being given everything that they want or that the group needs, you know. That actually he has to find ways to convince certain people to give them certain things that he wants. Maybe there's a song, or there's a project, there's something going on in there that he wants that for the group, or he wants to a certain creation to go for the group. But I think that he definitely has to be very strategic, because probably there's a lot of other people involved that they have a different view. They want this for someone else. So I do feel like definitely Hive atmosphere, it does look very competitive, honestly. This is why I get like Soobin's energy, like, you know, like somehow showing me that things are changing, that he will do his best to keep the group, you know, very strong. but that probably, is not as glamorous as people think, in the sense of like, oh, they have everything they want, like everything is being handled for them. No, actually here I see him on his own, and also I see him like raising his voice. And in this sense, I'm not saying this literally, like he's not shouting at someone, he's not having an argument with someone, but I think that also is about building his own voice and his own speech, and being able to speak up for the group in important meetings, or having like very important discussions and conversation with people, with powerful people, and reach out to these people and be like, okay, I want this for our group, so I'm here as a representative of them, like, and I think that probably he didn't have the I think he's really shy, and even though he's very smart, sometimes he gets nervous, and for him it's not easy. It's not that he doesn't know how to say things, it's just that probably afterwards he regrets what he says, and he's like, oh, I should have said this instead. This is why he gets the 9 of Swords, because there's this huge worry afterwards, or probably regretting a lot of things being said. And of course, he's a Sagittarius, so his moon is also in Pisces, so he does have a lot of Jupiter influence. So sometimes, Sagittarius energy, they, especially when they get excited about something, their speech is very eloquent, but their ideas are all over the place. So I think that it's important for him to work on this, on, okay, like, I want to deliver this idea, this thought, this is why he gets the card of creation. And I think that also he is learning to connect more with his own resources, and I think that he is magical. This guy is a creator, so definitely whatever he has to do right now, because he feels the need to do something, because somehow he feels like a bit uncomfortable inside, he does have a sort of uncomfortableness inside of his person. I don't know if because I sense that he's very intuitive, so probably he is like suspecting something. He's somehow like, I don't know if he is like anticipating something. He's like, oh no, I have to do something because we have to get this opportunity for ourselves. I think that there's something he wants for the group, and he's like, I want this for us, and I don't want others to get it. I want this for us, because this is going to be awesome for us. So, there's this sense of like, okay, like, how do I do this? And definitely the card of the Oracle, like, lets him know that he has to be creative, that he has to somehow be unexpected and show a different side of himself so he can surprise people. I think that obviously there's a lot of growth for Soobin for 2023, and I think that this is a great moment for his development as a person and as an artist. I think that somehow people that do look up for TXT, or are somehow like monitoring what TXT is doing and their activities, somehow they are given this space in this sort of awkward silence, so they can enable this leadership in Soobin, or the protagonism of the other members. Like, come on guys, like, okay, like, yes, this is awkward, yes, like, but what are you going to do about it? Look, so to somehow, it's not to push their buttons, but to somehow unleash their potentials. Like, okay, you want like something for you, like, speak up and say it, and be competitive and be ambitious. Like, come on, like, show us, why do you want this? Like, like what is your desire, what is your vision for the group, how much or how bad do you want to be part of this group, you know, like somehow to get them to get out of their comfort zone so they can step up and become more bold, you know, like bolder, like more courageous, like somehow like also like being a bit more of being more on the scene, you know, like come on, like we want to see your potential, we want to see your colors, your characters. Why should we give this project to you, or why should we do this for you? Like why what do you have to offer, you know? So I think that this is about, you know, somehow pushing TXT to be a bit more like courageous, a bit more like a bit bold, you know, and like, come on, we want to see your ambitious side. Yes, here is getting crowded, so what are you going to do about it? What do you want for TXT future? You know, so I think that this is very interesting, actually, guys. So yes, guys, this is all I have for him. I hope that it made sense, because I really tried really hard. It wasn't easy, but well, this is what I got. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.